Hello guys. So I'm trying a new form of video here. So this is gonna be like not too edited, but I just want to talk a little bit about some thoughts that I've been having recently about doing this YouTube thing. I feel like every video that I start off with, or I like am about to end, I always am like, well, I'm going to finish recording this, and during the editing process, I'll probably just give up. And that is terrifying. It's like, no matter what I do, I feel like I'm putting in the work, but I'm just not finishing it because I just don't believe in myself. And I think that that's the main issue. I don't know. I've been working a lot on trying to be kinder to myself on videos. I often feel like I need to do a specific type of content or find a way that only I can do this content. Like, oh, I'm gonna react to this mental health thing because I'm a psych student. And then like, while editing, I'm like, man, it took me 2 or 3 hours for this like 2-second edit. Okay, if it takes me like 2 months to edit a video, what's the point in uploading? Like, I'm not going to be consistent enough. Like, content is so saturated that people are going to watch the video, either subscribe and forget about me, or they're going to be, finding someone who does it better and faster. All the YouTubers that make it, like, they can just hire teams to do the parts that they struggle with or can't do. Like, oh, if I don't like setting up a scene, I can, rent out a place and hire someone to make a scene. Or, oh, I'm not good at art, I can commission people for thumbnail, pay an editor. Then I just have to worry about the content. For people starting out, it's like you have to worry about all of that and upload the same rate as the people who have whole teams of people who specialize in each of these departments. Not to mention a following and a backlog of videos people can watch. I don't know when it started. I want to say around 2016, especially. I feel like the internet just changed a lot then, but YouTube has become something that I have a very love-hate relationship with. I think Tommyinit did a pretty good video on this. But I grew up in what I considered was like the golden age of YouTube, where I've seen all like the stages of, YouTube. Like the beginning where music videos were the only thing making money. Nobody was making money. Like every YouTuber was working on other things. There was very little editing. Then like people started doing YouTube full time, and there weren't any sponsorships, and people started getting sponsored and doing like bigger set productions that you're just like, you can, organize this. This is insane. And then it turned into what it is now, with like people, virtually every YouTuber having a product, or doing like a 1,000-man, production, having their own set, their own studio, being able to just like buy whatever. It's insane. And it's become less on the content and more on the production and the way to capture attention. I feel like it's very less personal. Like, when I look back to what I loved on YouTube, it was things like Ryan Higa just talking about his life and how he deals with like doing ideas while he has ADHD, or Leva Kiwi in recent years where he just renovates a house and he talks about how he affords things, his journey with like learning art, him learning Japanese. Jordan Taylor, who literally just talks about his life like, oh, I did a speech that I was scared about. I don't know. I know I'm rambling a lot, but my goal isn't to cut this down. What I realized is, like, I somewhere lost what I wanted YouTube to be and instead focused on what other people make it out to be, if that makes sense. Like, I wanted this place where I could express my thoughts, maybe tell a story about my life, and have other people relate to it in some way and maybe gain something out of it. And slowly that transitioned to, like, this inferiority complex of, like, well, why should they listen to me? Or if I want to do this, I need to, do fancy editing. I need to subtitle everything. I need to motion graphics, all this stuff. And I think that that's my biggest downfall, is I just don't believe in myself. And I viewed YouTube for so long as this thing, like, once I get the freedom of, like, not living with my parents, not having to explain things, I can, finally be myself, talk online, form a community, have people who care about my nerdy interests, But I was so obsessed with it that it became like this thing where it's like, if I don't succeed in this, it's like, what do I have to, like, look towards? If I fail, then I will be lost. So I'd rather just be, like, stuck in this state of, like, well, if I want life to be better, I can just do YouTube. But if I do YouTube and it fails, it's like, what do I have to, what's my alternative? What's my thing that'll make me happy, So I was thinking, what made me want to do YouTube as a kid? And what I realized is I want a place where I can grow and form a community and learn about ideas, myself, tell stories, listen to stories. All my favorite defining, like, YouTube things that I look forward to and I value a lot have been something to do with that stuff. Whether it was, like, back in, early, like, 2018 to like 2022, there's a lot of people, like, interviewing people on VrChat. I think that was such a good thing, and I want to do something like that. Recently, I read a book called Becoming Myself by Irving Yalom, who is a very prominent recent figure in psychology. That really opened my eyes of, like, the thing that I need to do to be a good future therapist is understand myself. And I think that's what I want this channel to be. I want this to be something that I look forward to, and I don't think, man, I really want to do a YouTube video. Oh, I have this really great idea. But then I'm gonna need editing, and, like, who will watch? And what if it's, like, not good enough? And what if I take too long and people aren't interested in it anymore? I don't want that anymore. It causes me so much mental baggage to, like, open my hard drive, see thousands of minutes of content that I literally just need to edit, but I feel like I can't edit fast enough or in the right way to make it entertaining. And, like, who would watch me? Why do I care? This is, like, another big problem I have in my personal life, where it's like, I'd rather form myself around the person than be myself, because it's like, I have this deep fear of, like, if I'm just me, like, why would people stick around? It's agonizing. It's like, it's very defeating. I don't know what the form of content will be. Don't expect like the same thing every time. But I do want to do like these sit down and talk videos, kind of. If you ever seen like Jordan Taylor, he like talks about some stuff in his life that goes on. I really like those videos. Some of like Leva Kiwi's early like video essay type things. I would love to do like Hiding in Public's video essay things where he like analyzes media and how it relates to him. Maybe do something like either Daniel Howell's like internet support group or Blimey Cow's messages, where they like have people send in problems and stuff, and like I give advice or like my take on it. Obviously I'm studying psychology, but I'm not in grad school yet or anything, and I obviously don't want to give therapeutic advice because there's not really advice in therapy. I could do like one video on like misconceptions in psychology and therapy. I think that would be a really good resource. Or like just like get people to interview, like Azil did a lot of just like talking to people in VrChat and having them tell their story. I would love to do any of those kinds of content. Obviously, like the sending in problems or telling your story would have to be when like if people actually watch me. But until then, I just want to talk about my life, understand myself, have this be a thing where I can introspect, think about like what I actually want to do. And if people are willing to follow me on that journey or benefit in some way, I will be so happy and fulfilled. I guess this is going to be me taking my advice. If you can't do it the most efficient way, just do it your way. I'm not going to say that I'm going to start uploading consistently because that's what I said in the past. Instead, I'm just going to do it. So these videos are going to be not too edited. Hopefully they'll be shorter. That way you don't have to like suffer your attention span through just seeing me going like I do want to keep being a VTuber or be anonymous, because if what I want to do is correct, this will be like kind of like Becoming Myself's book, where you kind of see how I form myself into the future therapist I will hopefully be. So obviously I want anonymity. Like, I don't want people to be like coming to me because they saw my videos. I just don't feel comfortable with patients knowing me based on things that I post. I already have thoughts in my head, like, just to give you a peek behind the curtain, like, I'm trying to wrap up this video and I'm thinking like, man, I'm like yapping so long, nobody's going to stay around the whole video. I'll probably have to like edit things to like keep retention. And if I'm going to like edit and make this have good retention, like, this probably just won't get uploaded. Like, these are my thoughts that constantly plague my mind about YouTube. So, I don't care. I'm going to upload this, and if people watch 30 seconds, if only one other person sees this, so be it. If I do it long enough, maybe there'll be two. That's all I can hope for. Stop holding yourself back and just do it. I hope you have a good one, and see you soon, hopefully.